Alright, looks like we finally managed to get a game set up. Right, so might as well get on. I'm Gunter.
I'm Excel.
And this is a round 4 game between Strafe, our Red Terran player, and Lionsaks, our Protoss player. And the countdown has begun by getting into the game right now. While we load, we'll go ahead and plug our sponsors. It's cyberthor.com.au. PCs built by gamers for gamers. They understand your needs. We are finally in game. Strafe is our Red Terran player, spawning up the top right hand corner is Zelnalga Caverns. And Lionsaks, our yellow Protoss player, spawning down the bottom left. Hang on a second. Red and yellow names. Aha! I'm doing it wrong. Our yellow Protoss player, down the bottom left.
Pretty standard openings, both building a worker.
Yeah, so this is the inaugural StarCraft 2 tournament. We still have no viewers. Hopefully all those 0 viewers are seeing the stream not laggy with good voice quality.
Hopefully it's quite pretty.
Indeed. Strafe saying this is probably my worst map. I wonder why.
It is unfortunate. A lot of players that don't do a lot of practice on this map, or a lot of players that don't play it very often, at a bit of a disadvantage, being that it is the first map for all of the matchups.
Strafe throwing down his first barracks now, and man, I am nervous. Are you nervous?
A little bit.
A little bit nervous. So you forgive us if we stumble over ourselves a bit. This is the first time we've ever done anything live as well, so please bear with us. We finally have a viewer. That one viewer should go ahead and tell all his friends that we are streaming this game live right now.
Unless, of course, he is one of our friends, in which case, hi, Curry.
And hello, other friends. The first scout now for Lionsaks is going into the space, and he is going to see that the barracks is up, and he's going to try and take out that SCV.
Taking out that SCV, of course, would be quite painful, but Strafe pulling off a couple of SCVs to just shoo off that probe.
And he's running away now. The first gateway is done for Lionsaks. No, go ahead and chat as much as you like, Strafe. There's nothing wrong with that.
It's cool, we don't mind.
A little bit of back and forth.
Tech lab going down on that barracks.
So it is. And the cybernetic score going up for Lionsaks now as well.
Both players having taken 1 gas. Strafe not mining it to capacity.
Ooh! It looked like Strafe was going to try and steal the gas, but Lionsaks managed to get his simulator up first. That SCV is now going to wail on that pile on for as long as he can.
Just have a bit of fun. But
we do have a Reaper opening now from Strafe, so that's very interesting. I really like to see that indeed.
Makes for a very interesting early game. The good old Reapers. Very hard to shoo away, being they can jump up those walls.
Lionsaks saying 2 on gas, because he's talking about himself, and the expansion is going down now for Strafe, so he's looking to play a little bit more of a macro game, expanding behind this Reaper. He's probably just going to use it to scout, after he takes out the probe at this Zelnalga Tower.
Of course, Lionsaks now knowing that there are Reapers out there, they can make it a lot easier to defend, get your stuff in position.
Control-Shift-F means I can follow this Reaper all the way in. The Stalker has found the Reaper, and the Stalker is going to win that fight, and he jumps down the cliff and gets away.
Those Reapers being quite squishy, but of course having the advantage that they can go a lot of places that most units can't.
Indeed. We got another gateway, another 2 gateways. Oh, we've got a gateway and a robotics facility coming down for Lionsaks now, so it looks like he's going to try and get some... Well, who knows? Is he going to go for fast Colossus? He does have the 2 gas.
Those Colossus are pretty amazing against those Marine Marauder balls.
And it looks like Strafe has got out a Marine and a Marauder now, in front of this expansion. The Reaper did manage to survive, but he is on very low health indeed.
Researching that concussive shot already. That concussive shot slowing everything down nicely.
It's an excellent way to deal with Stalkers. Stalkers are fast, but when they get hit by that concussive shell.
Robo finishing up now. Going to see if he drops his robotic support facility.
Strafe
He's
is adding
going
on
to the
a
Colossus.
stack of barracks.
Observer coming out, of course, for Lionsaks. Those little map hacks are quite amazing.
Bunch of barracks units coming in at the Strafe, and it looks like he's sending an SCV forward. Where is he going? Over to the Zellnaga Tower to check it out.
Lionsaks taking his own expansion now. Both players just sort of posturing, getting their units ready, lining up.
Second gas going down for Strafe. He's adding on a Ghost Academy. Ooh!
Nuke, noogity nuke.
We can dream, but usually they just like to go Ghost with EMPs because they can knock out shields.
Probably far more common, but nukes are a lot of fun.
Nukes are a lot of fun. We can dream. We can hope it happens. Nice little gateway force now at the front for Lionsaks, sitting out the front of his base.
Getting those sentinels nice and early, of course, because that energy is very important.
And here comes the first Immortal. It's about halfway done, and he's rallied down in front of the Natural as well.
And those Guardian shields not too shabby either. That Observer seeing absolutely everything going on in Strafe space.
So he knows everything. He's seen the Ghost Academy, he's seen 4 barracks, so he knows that he's going to be seeing ghosts at some point in this game.
He's also seen the force there, so probably a little worried, probably going to ramp up his production of units a little bit.
Let's look at Strafe conversely. He doesn't actually know anything. He doesn't know how many gateways there are. He doesn't know that the robotics facility's there. All he knows is that he's got 2 gas.
Robotic support facility going down now as well, so some Colossus in the future, I can assume.
You can assume. And the Colossus is, of course, extremely important when you're dealing with these bioballs. Especially when you get that extended thermal lens upgrade. You get that range, you get a lot of damage.
Just sits behind those other units and it slays. Combat shield being researched now for Strafe.
Now the robotics bay is done, but he's building a Colossus. It doesn't look like he's going for thermal lens straight away, and I guess he just doesn't quite have the gas for it yet, but when it comes up he will research it, I'm sure. The attack is moving out the Strafe now. A pretty scary looking ball. Reaper out the front, 1 ghost, 2 ghosts in the mix, with just a little bit of energy.
Lionsaks knowing it's coming due to that Observer, so it should help a lot with his ability to prepare for the attack, getting his units in position and warping in some extra reinforcements.
Here they come now. It's a pretty good defensive force here for Lionsaks. I don't think this is going to be enough. The EMP goes down. The 2 Stalkers at the front now have no shields. Another EMP. So all those units now on no shields. The Colossus does come out in time, and it looks like Strafe is going to be forced to back up.
Well, when you see that Colossus, you've really got to back up. It can murder a lot of units very quickly.
And he still isn't researching extended thermal lance. So I guess he feels like he doesn't need it, or he's saving that gas for something else.
Stim now being researched for Strafe. Bit of a late stim.
Bit of a late stim.
But of course, when you don't have Medimax out, which he is now building the starports for, I would imagine, it does make it difficult to use those stims because it does hurt those units.
Yeah, we do have 2 starports and the factory, of course, done. 2 starports are on the way. It looks like these 2 players are going to be content to just build up their forces a little bit more before they engage again.
Another Colossus about to pop out of that robotics bay.
3 more Stalkers warping in down the front.
Quite a little ball going, both players having a reasonably sized force at the moment.
This is a really good spread from Strafe. He's got his units spread out along this wide area here, so that they don't take that much flash from the attack if it comes. And it looks like Lionsaks is going to move out now with this force.
Now those Colossus are still amazing without the thermal lance, so gonna do a lot of damage, I think. Those units still not quite having stim.
Guardian shield goes down, 3 force fields don't manage to trap anything, and in fact just prevent Lionsaks from moving forward, so he's got to pull back, but he's going to throw down a forward pylon.
A lot of Marauders coming out and 2 Vikings now for Strafe.
We got a Twilight Council coming down for Lionsaks as well, so it looks like he's going to want to go for Blink, make his Stalkers a little bit more effective. We do have a Scout Factory coming over the map now as well.
Those Vikings about to pop out. Very, very painful, those Colossus, those Vikings.
Stim is about to finish, and I wonder if Strafe is going to actually go on the offensive when that Stim finishes. Now that he's got the Vikings to deal with the Colossus, he might actually go ahead and try to do an attack.
Let's get that Medivac so we can get those Stims off. Stim now finished being researched.
Lots of extra gateways coming out for Lionsaks as well. Twilight Council has just finished.
Thermal lance now being researched for Lionsaks. It's going to help a lot with those Colossus. More Vikings coming out for Strafe.
So Zealot Charge is on the way as well. what do you know?
Strafe just closing that distance, getting some serious damage in, and those Zealots are pretty reasonable tanks. Damage going on them, then much better than damage going on those Colossus.
So it's a pretty slow, pretty standard macro game from both players, it seems. Just content to sit back in their bases. But we actually got a supply drop going down for Strafe. And why not?
Another observer being built for Lionsaks. Wants to make sure he can get in there and see what he needs to see.
Here's our first upgrade from either of our players. The Terran Infantry Weapons level
Excuse me?
1 is on the way. Actually, just double check that. No, there are no upgrades for our Protoss player Lionsaks yet. Looks like he's going to poke out. Didn't manage to get that Scout Factory with a lot of health. He's going to move back to the middle of the map.
Zealot speed and that thermal lance nearing completion now. Might be waiting for those to complete for a bit of a timing attack.
Templar Archives is on the way for Lionsaks. 4 more Vikings being built by Strafe.
That is a lot of Vikings. That's really going to hurt those Colossus.
There's already a ton here waiting as well. So it looks like Lionsaks is going to move forward to this forward pylon, which surprisingly hasn't been taken out yet. I wonder if Strafe even knows about it, and the answer is yes, he does. Surprisingly, he didn't actually want to take that out.
That's something you really like to do against Protoss players. You got to get those pylons down that are all over the map because
Here comes the attack. Guardian Shield goes down. Colossus with Thermal Lance doing a lot of damage to these bio units.
absolutely slaughtering a lot of those Marines and Marauders. Those Vikings not.
But it's just such good positioning for Lionsaks, even without the upgrades. He's doing a lot of damage, but it looks like this force is going to be cleaned up. Extra Zealot units are being walked in. Reinforcements coming up.
Those Zealots with their charge just getting straight in there and getting that damage done that they need to. Strafe landing those Vikings, trying to take out as much as he can, but it's just not going to be enough. Those Zealots just walking through that fireball.
Oh, Command Center caught out the front. Strafe
And there's the
GGs.
GG.
So Lionsaks will go up 1 game to 0 here. And we're going to take a break and see you soon for game 2.